Right, this next block is going to be my second border. This one's called the Wandering Goose block, and it comes from the GourmetQuilter. Now, she has tutorial on YouTube, so if you want to look it up from her or do it between the two of us, I'll go in a little bit more detail. I've had to work it out from what she's done, what size we need. So here goes. All your white blocks or your background colour, mine is going to be white, are going to be these measurements. Everything's going to be by 2.5, so it's going to be 4.5 by 2.5, 3.5 by 2.5, and then obviously the 2.5 inch square. That's all the three measurements you need. For each set of 4, we're going to have 4 in a block that follow one on top of the other. You're going to have 2 4.5 times 2.5, so that would be that one, so you want 2 of those. 2 times the 2.5 inch square, so you want 2 of those. And you want 4 of the 3.5 by 2.5, so you want 4 of those. So that's 2 of the 4.5, 4 of the 3.5, and 2 of the 2.5. That makes each block. What we're trying to achieve is, and I am using my fabric, I'm doing 8 in a row, but there'll only be 4 in a block that meander. What we're trying to achieve is to make geese, and obviously you know what we do is do a line, you sew, and then when you turn it back it obviously forms that side. This is the 4.5 one. When you sew that one in and goes that side, then obviously then you're going to have that goose over there. When you're sewing that together, it's going to be in the middle, and the idea is to make the goose wander around, but it's only going to do by 4, so it's going to go like that. As I say, I've got 8, so to keep me in order of pattern and which way I'm doing light to dark, so I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. So to show you up there, look, I'm doing all them 4, and then on my next 4, which will go underneath, it'll be for the darker one, so it's going light to dark, and I'm doing 8 patterns. So for my first one, which is number 1, the lightest one, I've got a 2.5 inch square on that side, and I've got the 4.5 inch by 2.5 inch, and obviously it's got to go that way. So obviously you always start at that point, and it's always got to be 2.5 inches down, so that'll get sewn onto there. So that'll be the first. You can see the goose in the way the pen is written. So my next block, number 2, will be the 3.5 by 2.5, and because this one's going to sit in the centre and not move, as in that way, that's going to be 3.5, so it's got the background the same either side, and as you can see the geese going, you can see by the pen line that the geese goes that direction. And obviously then when you draw the background on these, if you just pop it on top, you can actually see that, you know, it's going to start from that corner and it's going to go 2.5 inches down, which is obviously an inch from the bottom, and then you're going to catch that corner underneath. The next one is going to be the 4.5 inches on the right side, and again do your drawing from that corner down 2.5 inches to that corner, and this side because it's going to wander over, because your pattern is going to be over this side, because it's coming like that. That's a 2.5-inch square, and you can turn them around any way you want, so you know you do it from that way. And as you can see, the pen line looks as if it's a goose in the middle, so that pattern's right. And then the bottom is going to be the same as your second one, where we go over slightly and it comes back to the centre again. So you'll see when we sew it how it turns out. But obviously again, you go from that corner 2.5 inches down, and then from the centre there, because that's the way you're going to sew, to 2.5 inches down. So let's see if that makes sense when we sew. So we're going to do with number 1, so I'm always going to keep this on the first lot so I know where I'm going. And obviously I'm going to start with the right hand side first. So this is the 2.5-inch square. And then obviously then we're going to do the next one, which obviously then I've put number 2 on. Just move this one on the left side just out of the way a little bit, we don't need that one yet. And then pin this one on correctly. And then when you put it underneath your needle, move that one out of the way. So you know it's going to go on. That is obviously going to be on the, because you've measured 2.5 inches down, you know it's going to cover that corner. Then you're going to do the next one down, which obviously I've numbered number 3, so I can keep my patterns in order, as well as the way the geese are going. Move the other one out of the way, just want to do the right side at the moment. Make sure you've got it on. You don't have to use pins, you can use clips, you might not use anything, it's entirely up to you. Basically it's just to get it started in the right place. Make sure everything's right. Move that pin out of the way. And then we'll find out if we're right when we've done. Go straight on to your next one. You know that's going to be, because it's 2.5 inches down. And then obviously we've got number 4. Move this one to one side a little bit. I mean, you could actually write all this down on the paper and just keep them in order if you want on the side, or what you need, so you've got a reference all the time, so you know you're going to get the right geese in the right way, in the right order. You might be able to follow the GourmetQuilter. Just pop that underneath in that corner. That one is obviously going all the way down there, and then go to the corner, and then off. So you've done one side. Now my suggestion is keep them in that order. You've already got it slightly pinned, now pin it correctly. Obviously this is number 1. You can, no, let's abandon that idea. Because I've just realised they will overlap a little bit. So basically what we'll do is keep them in that order if you wish to cut. And as we've numbered them, if you think about it, because I'm doing this for the first time myself, because I've numbered them, I know which order they go to. So all we need to do is cut them apart, and that will make our lives a lot easier. when we come to trimming the side bit off, because we needed then to iron it, because it is going to overlap at the top. So you get your ruler, let's just see if you can see me. You get your ruler, let's just put you there, and obviously then 1/4 inch on that side. You put your line on the stitching line, and then you've got 1/4 inch, and this is a new one, there you go. And then when you iron that out, it'll be in the right direction that way. So then we'll go to, well, I picked up number 3, but it doesn't really matter because we know what order they go to because I've numbered them. So your 1/4 inch line goes on your stitching line, and then you're leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance. So make sure that's out the way over that side. 1/4 inch seam allowance that side, and the same with this one. Make sure that's out the way, keeping them together. Once you get started, you just fold it over out the way. 1/4 inch seam allowance. There we go. Now what we need to do is press to the dark, because you don't want anything coming up, because I'm using white. Right, we've now pressed. Now we're going back to number 1 again, and we need to put this back in place where we know it's supposed to go. It's a little bit fiddly. Put it down there, put it there, put it there. It's going to overlap slightly, so it's going to be a bit thicker on that top one. That's it, it's just all the way down to there, that's it. And then we're going to sew from the top down towards this corner. And as you can see, my line is measuring up to that corner. Let's find number 2, and again put them right. Probably easier if I put it down and then moved it a bit. You do what's more comfortable and easier for you to do. That's it. And then once you think you've got it right, on my corner, there we go. And number 3. Sorry I'm not doing this on camera, but obviously I'm pulling it down so it makes my life easier to get them level. And then again, with your needle down, pick your presser footer up, and then chain piece and go straight down. And then again with this one, from one corner to the other. Make sure you've got that on top of that corner. Keep the presser footer up, foot up, keep saying footer. And pin out the way. No. And you do the same again what we did before. And clip them. I've numbered them so I know which number they go in, and then cut off leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then press. And fingers crossed we've got the right order. But as you can see, we've got the effect we wanted. Our goose starts this side and then wanders over that side and then comes back into the middle. If you'd notice, you've got two middles, and that's why you needed 4 3.5 inches. So obviously by looking at this way, you know that you've got 2.5 there, 2.5 there, 2 4.5s and 4 3.5s. So if you keep one as a template, and obviously I've got mine in order so I can remember the colour, so obviously my next 4 will go 5, 6, 7 and 8, and they're going from light to dark. So then these will be on top of here, so it'll look always as if the geese are wandering around. That's all there is to it. Remember the orientation of how I told you to put the background colours on. You need 2.5, 3.5 and 4.5 long, all by 2.5 inches in your background colour, and then you should be okay. Happy making, have fun. Please don't forget to like and to subscribe, and if you come back, we'll make some more videos together. Thank you.